everyone, my name's Adrianna and I'm here with you today to talk about rocks. So rocks are commonly seen as something that might be a little on the boring side, but what many don't realize is that they serve a really important purpose in our environment, and they're homes to a lot of different animals, insects and plants, and maybe a lot more that we don't really understand yet. So today we're going to take a look at this rock over here. So this is known as a boulder. It's a very, very large rock that was probably moved here a long time ago by a glacier. And so I'm going to give you a little bit of time to take a look at this rock and maybe keep in mind some things that you notice about it. What kind of shape it is, what colors you see, what kind of things you notice might be growing on it, right? And so the first thing I want to talk about with this rock is moss. So moss is a really cool plant, and it lives on a lot of rocks in shady or moist conditions. And as you can see, there are a lot of trees over here, so those trees are giving this rock the shade it needs for this moss to grow. Another interesting thing I want to talk about that sometimes people might confuse with moss is called lichen. And lichen commonly might be seen with moss. It also grows on trees, so you might have seen it there. And it's kind of hard, and there are a lot of different shapes it can have. This one is a little more raised, but if we go over here, this one fits kind of right in with the rock. And so lichen is really special because it's actually two different living things, an algae and a fungus, tied together in one organism. The last thing I want to talk about today that you might have noticed is that there are a lot of different crevices and places for animals to hide and live. So if I go close right here, you might be able to see some ants living in the rock. And there's also a lot of space under here where maybe a chipmunk might live, or a rabbit. And so the longer you stare at the rock, the more you seem to notice. There's a spider right here, right there, which is really interesting. So I hope that next time you look at a rock, you see maybe a little more, and you kind of think about how important it is to our environment, because they serve a really important purpose. And thanks.